So when it comes to group coaching, what are those advisory groups like here? I know they could be different elsewhere, but how do we do advisory groups?
Yeah, the thing is so cool is, if any industry that you're in, you probably can go to an industry convention. If you're in construction or whatever, there are associations where you can go learn construction best practices. And so we don't have groups arranged around industry. What we've got groups arranged around, and what people get into groups for is because we have a common set of beliefs about how a business should be run, the dignity of people, the nobility of business, the fact that people die in isolation, and so you shouldn't go at this alone. We care about people. We care about the quality of what we're doing. And so we form groups. We bring people together that all have that same worldview, that same set of beliefs that work matters, and that we care about our people, and we want to do this in a way that upholds those beliefs. And so we get people that are roughly at the same stage of business. So if they're just starting out or they've been at it for 20 years, we group people according to those kind of things, and then we start having, like I said, that roundtable conversation facilitated by one of our coaches, so it stays focused, and there's accountability around the things that people commit to on the calls. And you just get that insight, that feedback, and really what grows out of that is confidence. And so you have the confidence to run your business that you don't get when you're just kind of making it up as you go when you're by yourself.
Yeah, I got to join in as a fly on the wall on one of these advisory group calls because I wanted to see what the experience was like.
Yeah.
And so I got to hang out with one of our coaches, Bubba, as he led one of our advisory groups. And it was so interesting to me that even though this is a business advisory group, things got personal.
Of course.
So talk to me about bridging that gap between, hey, we're here to talk about business problems, but somehow it always gets personal.
Well, because business is inhabited by people. And, Dave has talked about this. You can't take a person and split them into private and professional life. The call, like you said, the calls are about their business, but it comes down to you as the leader. You're the problem and you're the solution. And so you've got to look in the mirror and you've got to say, hey, what do I have to do different? If you're looking at your team and you're saying, I don't have a team of champions. Well, who does that fall to? That falls to you as the leader of that team, and you've got to do something about it. And those conversations go that way. I'm trying to think of the right word. They end up being there. They find those spots where somebody's got a blind spot or they've got something that they're scared of, frankly. And they get the encouragement to face that dragon and attack it and overcome it and become that leader that they want to be and really that their team needs them to be. Yeah. And that's personal.
That's hugely powerful on the personal side there. And I've seen our coaches, they're checking in with people's families going, hey, how's your mom doing? I know she was in the hospital. And it's just fascinating because I think these business leaders, they don't have that outside of that. Yeah. They're not going to their team with these kinds of problems, and they can't.
Yeah, that's right.
They need to be seen at a certain level from their team, and they can't go, hey, I'm trying to transition this leader. Can the team help? They're at the top, and it's lonely at the top.
Yeah, but
so what you're talking about is that sense of community where
that's right.
They can share these things, and they go, I haven't told anyone this.
That's absolutely right. When they're in that conversation with people that are facing the same kind of things, they've got somebody that they can open up to and talk about the difficult things that they're trying to make happen. And the fact of the matter is, when you're the leader of the organization, more and more of your day is just problem solving, and it involves people, and it's hard conversations. And a lot of times there's emotions involved. People have feelings, and they don't, it's not easy to address all that stuff. But the very fact that it's not easy to address is something that a group does for each of the owners on there. And it's two things. The group, it does a lot of things, but to this point, it helps you recognize that it's difficult and that you're actually fearful of it, and that's why you're avoiding it. But a great thing that groups does is the accountability, because as you saw on that call, you sat there, you listened to people get insight, feedback. They stated their challenge. This is the thing that I'm working on. And then at the end of the call, the coach is saying, okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to commit to this group, to your peers here, that you're going to have done in 2 weeks from now that we can ask you about? And then you get on the next call and it's like, hey, George, you said you were going to have that difficult conversation with that team member. How'd it go?
And the whole group is there.
And the whole group is there.
And they're watching going, all right, let's see if they did it.
Yeah, that's right.
And get the update. And there's no shame here. Like I was on the call and it was just cool to see people who didn't know each other than being in this group for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And so they have this rapport, this context with each other, this community that they've built over time, built that trust.
Yep.
And it was just so powerful to see the level of encouragement, even though they're in totally different places across the country, totally different industries, and yet they were all in the same playing field going, hey, we're in this together, and we want to help each other grow.
Yeah, they really do form a band of brothers. They, like you said, the groups stay together, and so those bonds build. They learn to trust each other. They learn to share things that they can't share with other people, and it really becomes powerful.